How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Scrapyard. I'm your host, BC.
Fucking Rob.
Dreamer girl.
Woody?
Fighting bees! Oh yeah!
And JJ Prime Reviews. Oh.
Hey, JJ, nice to see you.
I know, he's actually at the beginning of an episode. This is amazing.
What
sorcery is this?
What's the
Somehow the plat.
Tonight,
Been occupied.
I don't have things set up. Oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. So tonight's episode is going to be, we're doing this old school. It's the Repaint approach, round 3.
Count of 1, 2, 3.
And then on top of that, we are also going to be doing another Battle Royale. And this Battle Royale is going to be a very special one because we are literally pitting every single one of his traitor asses together in one massive bout to the death. This scrap battle is the Battle Royale of Sentinel Prime.
Oh boy.
This is going to get good. Especially for the IDW fans, this is going to get good.
Especially with
All right, with that stated, everybody, before we get into anything else for the rest of the night, first things first, we got to do figure appreciation of the week. I hope you guys are prepared. JJ, you're first. You know the rules. You know the rules.
Anyway, so figure appreciation for the week has got to be this beautiful boy right here.
It's a
The one figure that I honestly took so long to get, and I'm so glad to finally have him. It's the Legacy United Voyager class, Cybertron Universe Starscream. Yeah, Decepticon himself, and absolutely guy.
Yes.
But yes, Cybertron Universe Starscream. I'm so glad I have this figure. I don't know why it took me so long, but I'm so glad I got him finally, and I cannot wait to do a review on this figure. So, yeah, we'll check him out on a later date. But yeah, awesome Starscream.
Discount Red Ranger, you're up.
My finger appreciation. Transformers Armada. Nemesis Prime. Oh yeah! Got this at a convention last weekend. Got it for $100. I'm really happy with it. And is it just me? Does this guy look excited to see us? So, real quick, I want to mention about the. Anyway, one thing I want to mention about the convention is that I met Walter Emmanuel Jones, the original Black Ranger, and I did a little something for BC. Eventually, we'll have something special
Hey.
his videos.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right,
Don't want to give away too much.
bring your British ass up.
Dance, monkey!
I'm going to go for this week. The G.I. Joe 2005 convention exclusive Iron Mech. Now, this was a repaint of the 2005 Defense Mech from G.I. Joe Valor vs. Venom. Came with a Ghost Bear repaint. This is a convention exclusive, limited to only a few hundred. It was a repaint in black and gold specifically for Destro's faction, the Iron Grenadiers.
Nice.
There you go.
Book appreciation, go.
So, y'all are going to be shocked. It's not a murder mystery book,
It's not.
but it's not really a romance book either. So, I've been reading.
Hang on.
It's called The Inheritance Games.
Hang on. Who are you? What have you done with the real Dreamer?
She's taking a break from murder mysteries.
Wait a
To see
minute.
if I can
Has Dreamer-
shock people.
Wait.
Has
I
Dream-
think you
has-
killed him.
Wait a minute. Dreamer, are you telling me you've been Rachel Priced?
I guess I have. I just wanted to see what would happen.
Right. This is a little figure I got for myself for my birthday last week, and I'm going to say this right now. He is the favorite in the line. But Planet X's take on Slag.
Oh, very nice.
It's really good.
It's really good. It's really shiny, and I'm just going to go ahead and say he's one horny boy.
Now, hold on. Something real quick. He comes with sheaths.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
Well, at least he keeps things safe.
Baby
Oh.
nice. All right, my turn. So I was kind of messing about with my my mini bots, flipping in between the modes, and through doing that, I was reminded of why I love this figure so much. My figure appreciation, Kingdom, Warpath.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, I have the little Soundwave gun barrel thing for Megatron with him because I actually happen to have 2 of these. Didn't want to just up and get rid of it, so I gave it to him for a gun.
Oh, cool.
Is it G1 accurate? Not even slightly. Do I care? No. That said, let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand. And we're going to be doing 30 minutes on the clock. The topic being the repaint approach. It is the 3rd time that we are going to be doing this. Run the clock in 3, 2, 1, go. So the repaint approach is something where, say, Hasbro wants to put out plenty of product, and they can't really utilize all of their money to make new molds. So to make up for the price of one mold, they would sell 4 repaints. That is what helps them recoup the money that they lose when it comes to making the molds.
Prime example. This G.I. Joe 25th anniversary Cobra Viper. Here he is in his Python Patrol repaint.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, that gave them an excuse to repaint the mold. Another case in point, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows precisely where I'm going with this one. Seekers.
Seeker.
See,
Yep. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, BC. Did you not get a very famous repaint today?
Yeah, Twincast.
Exactly.
Yep.
JJ,
Hmm?
you were coughing. I thought you were going to say something.
Sorry. My throat a bit.
Got you. So yeah, no. In Dreamer's case, it could literally be a case of instead of an author writing a new book, they could decide to just resell their old book, but basically slap a whole new coat of paint on it.
Yeah.
Put it in a more collector grade cover.
Or whenever they turn a book into a movie or a show, I've noticed that they'll put that as the cover instead of the original. And I mean, okay, if that's what makes you happy.
they've done that with the Harry Potter books at least once.
Yeah, and I don't own those.
Goosebumps and Animorphs too. I've seen those be reissued in the last 10-ish years, and I'm like, oh hey, look at these books. And I see them on the shelves, and they have a completely different cover from what I saw and was used to when I read those books as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. Now
Or
the way
sometimes they'll do a special edition. I mean that's not as common though.
sometimes, Helen, Dreamer, they might do a version of the book with some lost media inside it. Chapters that were probably cut from the first time, new material, existing material.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of depends. Every author and every publishing company, they do things just a little different.
Yep.
Or they cut things.
Yep. So interestingly, one of the ways G.I. Joe handles repaints is that aside from, the various factions getting their own repaints, sometimes they'll release repainted figures and characters with vehicles or playsets.
Yeah, that's something that tends to get really, really annoying. Oh, good example of that though. Now that you bring it up, the Beast Wars Second Taco Tank.
Yeah.
The Taco Tank is a release where that is the only way back in the day where you could get Ickard, which is the cousin of Scuba.
Wasn't he? And he was a repaint of Beast Wars Clawjaw, if I remember correctly.
If that is the American name of Scuba, then yes, that is exactly who it is.
Yeah, it was the squid guy, the Maximal that transforms into a squid.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I got another example. I just thought of. Sorry to cut you off.
When you're ready, Ez has something to say.
Okay, so when it comes to Optimus Prime, any Optimus Prime figure, usually 9 times out of 10, when an Optimus Prime figure is released, we get a Nemesis repaint following it.
Oh yeah,
This is the Armada Bendy Prime, as it's been called. And yeah, the Bendy Prime was originally in the traditional Armada Optimus Prime colors. So then, because he appeared in the show, of course they had to do this naturally. And then after the Masterpiece Optimus Prime figure was made, guess what Hasbro did? They slapped black and turquoise on it, the Decepticon insignia, Nemesis Prime Masterpiece.
Yeah, there was that weird period between 2005, 2010, where if there was an Optimus Prime toy, we were guaranteed to get a Ultra Magnus and Nemesis Prime out of it.
Yeah. Recently, this year, Takara Tomy had made and released a Nemesis Prime repaint of Rise of the Beast, Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. And they also repainted the Legacy Armada Starscream into his Power Links color. So, hey, if it sells. I just want to mention that. Yes.
I just thought of one. The Prowl, Smokescreen, Blue Streak.
Yeah, the dots and mold.
And further to Beeza's point, I find it funny that Super 7 have literally just announced the release of Super 7 Reaction Ultra Magnus, which is a repaint of the Prime Cab.
Yeah, I find that really funny as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't call it Naked Magnus.
Yeah,
right. It's Magnus.
A lot of us we call him Albino Prime, the white Prime.
Yeah, everybody calls him Albino Prime.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just follows that. It's also the thing that when with Transformers Seekers, the first ones are always the original 3, usually Starscream first, then Thundercracker, and then Skywarp, and then it's the Rainmakers.
And another one I just thought of, not all the time, but for most cases, Megatron and Galvatron.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes. I mean, mostly with Unicron Trilogy and the RID 2001 show where Galvatron was a little repaint of Megatron. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the same thing with whenever a Bumblebee mold is used. Like, for example, they released Horrorflash Laserbeak first, and then they decided to release, you know what? It's going to become Bumblebee anyway, so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Or Class Bumblebee from the live-action films.
And how many here are Marvel Legends collectors? How many of you guys here? I know one of you is.
I don't collect them.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Bees.
Mhm.
Yeah, how many times do you think that Bucky Cap book was actually reused and repainted for various figures?
Oh boy, the two most commonly used molds for Marvel Legends figures were the Bucky Cat body mold and the Hyperion body mold. The Hyperion body mold is more like Dwayne Johnson level of ripped, and that was used, for example, the 2015, I think it came out in 2015, of Marvel Legends Venom figure, which did not really work for the character at all. The Bucky Cap mold has been used for, like, I want to say like a few Daredevil figures before. And then the what has to be the best and most world-renowned Spider-Man figure was dubbed by fans the Pizza Spidey. Features like what some of the best articulation at the time that we'd gotten out of a Spider-Man figure, and he came with a pizza slice, hence Pizza Spidey. That has been used for Iron Fist, like a few other like very slender and agile characters, and honestly, it works. Sometimes repaints work, but on the other hand, using the Hyperion body mold for Venom,
How many
I want
times
to
did
say
the
that one got reused like 12 times.
Yep,
Well-
and then once you, yeah, that sounds about right.
Wait. 12. Hold on. Earthrise Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Ramjet, Thrust,
Dirge.
The Dirge, and 86 Starscream. We have the. Then we also have the translucent, all the clear plastic Starscream to become Ghost Starscream. We have that.
Yeah.
We also have G2 Ramjet.
Cloud cover.
We have Cloud Cover. We have G2 Sandstorm. That's 11.
Yep.
And then we have the Dramatic Capture set, the 3 set of the Decepticons. That one, 12. And they're going to do it again for back with Astro Train and Blitzwing, so 13.
Yep.
And they even,
And then the 14 would be the proposed Armada Thrust.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think that was a joke. That was just a joke. I feel Armada Thrust will be a brand new mold at some point, but I don't know. But anyway, they also did the Legacy United Dirge and Ramjet, so I guess 15?
Yeah.
So 15.
I mean, it's still still completely dwarfed by MP10, but there you go.
Yeah.
Since that has,
I do definitely agree with you on that one. Armada Thrust needs to be a new mold.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, if you want to talk about reused molds, MP10.
Oh,
That's all I'm gonna
We are
say.
not no. You shush. We are not going into that. Absolutely, the fuck not. It's like we are literally going to be here the entire night, and we are going to completely blow over whatever the middle section was going to be. No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But all I'm just leaving it at that. Yeah. If you want to talk reuse molds, you can't not talk reuse molds without looking at MP10 and the amount of times that's been reused by various companies, store exclusives.
What about the overused Siege Megatron mold? How many times?
Yeah.
Hey, you leave that mold alone. It is not bad. It is not terrible. Leave it alone.
Yeah, but the problem is it's been overused. So
It's one of them ones.
I know one mold that's been overused. I know another mold that's been overused. That's been repainted too much. Siege Sideswipe.
Yes. I mean, even that got reused in collaborative for Gigawatt.
Yeah.
You want to know another mold that's been used a lot? The Legacy G2 Laser Prime.
How about the Siege Sideswipe? That's a great figure that got reused. I'm so glad they repainted one as Armada Wheeljack. I think we're all extremely happy that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of overused molds, need I say anything about Combiner Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Look, for the toy line that got me back into Transformers, I'm no stranger to saying that line just recycled molds like no tomorrow.
Yeah, it did. That being stated, I don't care what anybody says. Hunger is a retool of Silverbolt. You cannot change my mind.
It is. But yeah, the amount of retools, repaints, and rehashes. Like, oh come on, can we at least have some new tools?
No, because
Please?
at that point we can't just reuse Alpha Bravo.
Oh.
Can I just say, Bees, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I can only see through the visor if I'm not breathing.
It's literally like.
No.
We'll just go ahead and leave Bees alone for the night.
I was just checking on him.
No,
It's
I'm
like-
just saying. We'll leave him to his own devices tonight.
Anyway. What else? Okay, can we talk about how many times this mold has been reused, repainted?
The SS86 Grimlock. I mean,
Yeah.
I know of SS86, the comic pack.
We got the G2 Tiger painted version.
Oh, the upcoming Godzilla. Just
No, it's not Godzilla. No, that is just Megatron cosplaying as Godzilla. No.
Cosplaying is Megatron body paint. They're covering Godzilla body paint.
Just as like
He's wearing his hentai suit that he got from Temu.
BC is like, I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
Back to
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
Guys, I wanted to bring something up about Combiner Wars. I wanted to backpedal to that real quick. One of the biggest and laziest repaints from that has to be Blastoff, who was repainted from Slingshot.
Yeah, see, if they would have done the Firefly mold,
much less like Blastoff.
If they would have done the Firefly mold, that would have made way more like actual sense.
But then we got the Takara release later on in the Prime Wars trilogy pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys hear what I said? I said that.
Yeah.
It's it's just lazy because they didn't even bother at least trying to make it look like a space shuttle or even trying to make it look like Blastoff in robot mode. It's just like it's like they flung poo and plums at Slingshot and called it and said, "There you go, you're a Decepticon now."
And my biggest problem with that, like I said, is they had a head mold that word for word would have worked better and he would have been much better received. And instead they went with the one that didn't have the mouth plate.
I mean, as an overall figure, it's not bad for what it is.
We gotta commend Hasbro for actually releasing the shuttle version of Blastoff in the three exclusives with Punch and Repugnus. So
yeah, so we actually got all three. So we actually got proper Blastoff. We got all three monster bots in Titan's Return, and we got Punch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, the other thing as well is how many times. Speaking of Titan's Return, how many times was that Titan's Return blur reused?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Blur. He's been reused for Brainstorm and RC.
And then another brainstorm. And then another brainstorm. And
And
then
another
another.
brainstorm.
And then Nautica.
And another one.
And then another figure.
Another one.
And then another figure.
Oh wait, how about
And then another figure.
wait.
And then another figure.
How about the Prime Wheeljack mold? How many times has that been reused?
Not really as many.
No, it's been reused for the Beast Hunter's Jackie. He has been reused for Dead End. He has been reused for the Dark Energon Jackie. He has been reused for the Arms Micron Wild Rider. And he has been reused for Arms Micron Chrome Dome.
You know, speaking of that,
Oh my
speaking of that,
Oh God, are you
speaking
starting?
of that, JJ, do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Remember how the last night Legion classes were all existing repaints?
Yeah, basically.
Not all of them. I mean, Dragonstorm, Crosshairs.
Dragonstorm was new.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But new. So.
Grimlock was a repaint of
Rippersnapper.
Hongo? Rippersnapper.
Rippersnapper.
Yeah.
He was Rippersnapper. They figured, Rippersnapper looks like a T-Rex.
Beautiful Sharky boy.
Yeah, it's just interesting how those last night Legions had some of the the Prime one. There was a couple of Prime ones, wasn't there? Because I think Prime Breakdown was used for one of the
one of the Decepticons. Oh, Berserker. Yeah.
yes.
And Prime Soundwave was reused for an Autobot named Ravenspar for some reason. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay. How many repaints did Legacy Prime RC have? Oh my gosh.
Well, we could also count a lot of those into the general RCs, can't we? When you like with your Paradron medics, sometimes Elita.
Mm. Yeah.
The point is, the repaint approach is literally Hasbro trying to figure out a way so that they do not have to entirely make brand new molds to make more product. And it's a practice we've been using for a long time. We've basically seen it since '84. Like I stated in the speakers, that's something where you can definitely tell that's where the repaint approach really begins to get its foot off the ground.
And DC, to further that, and Rob, you might agree with this. Another place where the repaint approach always takes a large, bulk of the tooling is in wrestling figures.
Yeah.
Simply down to the fact that, once you have a base figure, the fact that a lot of it can simply be done, the repaints are down to, different ring attires, different costumes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in that same exact vein, kind of having to break bread with the enemy here real quick. One of the major reasons why Hasbro thought they were going to be able to be successful with the Power Rangers franchise. It was a case of you make one specific body mold, slap a new coat of paint on it a couple times, and you get new toys every time.
And the only thing you have to pay for is the cost of the helmet and the weapons.
Exactly.
Interchangeable heads.
That's all you have to pay for at that point. So why that line failed, I will never understand.
We know why. We know why it failed.
And anyways,
The way
before I
we
go
know.
off on that tangent, let's move on.
Mm-hmm. I have my own opinions on that, but there you go.
Okay, so another major point to the repaint approach, and this is the thing that really tends to really get to fans, is when we start to notice that there are basically entire waves where the bulk of them consist of repaints.
Wasn't that to the case a while back with Transformers, where most of the wave that came out was literally just repacks and repaints.
Yeah, but I'm talking from the standpoint of statistically, Hasbro kind of discovered that for the cost of one new mold, we can make 4 repaints.
Yep.
So therefore,
Now-
that's where we get all those weird ass,
Well,
all those weird ass repaints coming out of nowhere. Where they go, okay, they took Prowl and they painted him black and called him Stealth Prowl because reasons. And okay, yeah, that's fine and all. But then another wave down the line, he's repainted blue and they called him Silver Streak. And you're like, what the fuck? He's not even silver. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's a case of justifying the tooling they already put in. They got to find different ways to utilize that tooling.
Yeah.
Which is why we got 3 different reuses out of the Kingdom Optimus Primal mold. We got 2 reuses out of the Kingdom Megatron, the Beast one. The multitude of reuses of the Siege Megatron mold. And I'm dropping it there. I'm dropping it there.
See, the thing is, I think what fans want out of a repaint is, being able to justify spending the money to buy a new toy to get that repaint, or vehicle, in the case of like G.I. Joe, or another wave to get that repainted figure, and it's got to be worth it.
Exactly, and because of that, people tend to pay way more than initially anticipated.
Also, one more thing I have to say about the repaint approach here is when Times Return started the whole releasing the repaint remold first before the character that the mold was intended to be. Like
5 minutes.
For example, when they release Sentinel Prime, of course, it's going to be Astro Train. When they release Optimus Prime and Megatron, of course, it's going to be like Octane
and Blitzwing.
Octane and Blitzwing. Same thing with Sky Shadow. Sky Shadow was released first. Christmas.
Bricks. The other thing as well, JJ, just to twist that on his head. Remember when they, with Cyberverse, when they created the character Checkpoint, so people were, it was just a repainted Hot Rod.
Name Prowl.
Yeah, Prowl and
First Spark Prowl. Yeah.
Figure appreciation of the week. Go.
Primus.
Ah,
You're nice.
that's cool.
Finally
Okay, that's
got
nice.
one
All right,
earlier
got
this week. I've been wanting it in my collection for a long time, and I finally have him.
Is that the vintage or is that the last night repaint?
Well, I mean, the last night repaint was like a bright orange and black. This is the original from 2005 Cybertron.
That's cool. That's cool.
He just doesn't have the Omega lock.
Oh.
I'll find that separately eventually.
All right, so basically, the topic is the repaint approach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say one thing, that a way to do a repaint and make it obviously make the money is how New Age handles their figures. I mean, you've got 5 or 6
where they're very clever reuses.
Yes.
and
Where
they
you have
there's several changes and accessories or colors to make it a whole different character.
or like when they do the comic, the G2, the toy, the cartoon.
Or in using the RC mold, you'll get RC, you get Alita 1, you get Solus, you get
Chromia.
Yeah, where New Age was finding very, very clever ways to reuse all of their molds.
That's a way some other companies should be able to do it, but
Now, and funny enough, you actually held up a really good example of this. A lot of the BotCon repaints that we got. This
Yep.
is the Legacy United version of him, but taking the animated Voyager at that time and making a Motormaster out of it.
Yep.
Toxitron.
Or Toxitron. Like, just such, like, those are things that I wish Hasbro would do. 2 minutes.
How about when Hasbro repainted Spinister into Rotostorm?
Yep.
Yeah, that one. They repainted that.
Yeah. I think the final point is fans want a decent repaint that either improves the existing figure or turns it into a new figure entirely, and not wanting to drop the money on a lazy repaint or retool.
Case in point, Cybertron Cannonball. That is a repaint that is so drastic in comparison to the original use that there are people to this day that literally swear by only owning that mold if it's Cannonball.
Mm.
And then there's me, who has all the Shattered Glass figures.
Yeah.
It's my weird thing. I have a weird obsession with black repaints, and that seems to also bleed into the whole Shattered Glass stuff.
Because black repaints. Although I'm not gonna lie, the black and purple on Jetfire fucking slaps, huh?
I tell you what, I do quite like the white and red on Shattered Glass Starscream, but it's the yellowing that is putting me off it.
It's not white and red, it's yellow and red. Get it right, Woody.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done.
Go, flaming bees!
Oh!
Go, flaming bees!
What about my mom?
Viagra Blade! That's what!
You money more
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
So, bees, what is your Megazord?
Huh?
What would your Megazord be?
Answer that later. We got the middle section to go into.
Okay.
So the middle section is actually going to kind of fall in line with the topic as a whole, but we're actually going to talk about what repaints we would do. We are not done. And in fact, we haven't even gotten there yet, Daniel. We will just stick around for a little while longer. We'll get to it, I promise. We're just gonna go in order, and basically Dreamer is going to talk about a book that she would love to see a completely new cover for. And we're gonna let her go first.
Excuse me?
Whatever book that you really love reading, you get to completely redesign the cover for it to suit your needs.
That's really hard.
I thought that would be.
I mean, you have to think. I read so many books that's like.
How about we narrow it down? The Harry Potter books. How would you want your the cover or your favorite Harry Potter book in the series to look compared to how it is, what the covers have looked like so far?
I mean, honestly, this is gonna sound really bad, but I actually like the original books cover. That's probably really controversial, but I've always really liked them. But I guess
the Hunger Games books.
I mean, I wish that they were a little more flashy. I mean, honestly, they're kind of blah.
Bland.
I mean, I wish that, since, you have the Mockingjay, and, Katniss is supposed to be the Mockingjay, and she's supposed to be flashy.
Get the hell out of my head, Ink.
I mean,
Right?
I wish that they would make it a little more, glitz and glam. I guess that's what I would do. Is I'd make it a little bit more glitz and glam. Like all the books kind of need a little makeover. Not just one. The whole series needs a whole makeover. But then you could argue that some books, their cover doesn't make you want to read the book, which some people, they look at a cover and that's what makes them want to buy it, which I'm sure is like figures.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
happens sometimes.
So, I mean, a book is kind of like that. So a lot of people walk past a book because they go, ooh. But I guess, like, if I had to redo a series, it'd be The Hunger Games. And that'd probably be the only ones I can think of off the top of my head because you sprung that on me.
The nerve of you.
Yeah, BC.
So, anyways, the reason why I did that was because I wanted you to at least contribute.
I know, but I was just like that. That was like
Anyway, so a repaint
Woody.
that we all would want to
Yes?
see. Ink is a bastard because he stole my answer.
What? What did you say my name for?
I heard something from your corner of the room.
That's what I thought. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
What are you doing, Ink? You're taking all of the answers. Stop it.
Studio Series Desert Brawl. Anybody?
See, that's okay because at least you said it first.
Repaint Masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron into T-Rex.
Yes.
I
That's
was
a bad
gonna
cook.
I was gonna jump off of what JJ was saying. I actually want them to make a kind of like how they did that Nest Bumblebee subline with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee. I want to do them to do the same thing, but with the like Desert Brawl camo idea.
Ooh, nice. So Ink, that's actually a retool. We'll save stuff for that like that for another time. So
Didn't we get T-Rex already in Kingdom?
yeah, we
Yeah.
did. He's saying
But
he
not
wants to see the
masterpiece
masterpiece figure done up in those colors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and with the mutant head halves tooled onto it, so that way like they could close over the face completely for like transformation.
So
Choose to have it like that.
okay, so is it safe? Can I finally say something with old Daver's repaints that I can finally just
No,
chime in and put it in without Ink taking it from me?
No, you're not done.
Put the Viagra black away.
Oh,
I'm done with Ink.
Quit it, Woody.
Yeah, Woody.
What? British
Woody, are you
mother-
challenging me? Woody, are you challenging me?
Maybe.
But he hasn't had Chipotle.
Oh,
Ink, we need to have a talk. How did you get in my head? For one,
Come on.
Ink, no. Hold up. Ink,
How
how
about
did you get in my head? How did you
Wait.
get in my head? You explain this right now. Before you get bonked. Actually, I
Come
can't
on.
bonk you. So before I bonk the discount Red Ranger. Okay, you need to tell me word for word why you're in my head and you need to get the hell out right now.
Wait,
to make this entirely worse.
wait. Before Ink says it. Studio Series Jazz in smokescreen colors.
you want to know a good one? You want to know a good one? That I would love for the Studio Series figure to be in like an 07 toy color, like toy line colors. Not the basically reverse colors Bumblebee figure where he's black with the yellow stripes.
All right, well, I guess I got an Ink to chase down.
I'm gonna go ahead and say something that I'm probably gonna get hit for. Legacy Sideburn in the Supermode colors.
I mean, that is gonna happen regardless. So
Ooh, I love that.
yeah.
I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know, JJ, given the fact that Hasbro.
Oh, you know, it would be some cool repaints. I'm surprised they haven't.
Wait.
They haven't come out. They
Studio
haven't done yet.
Series, Studio Series, Bayverse Prime in albino prime colors.
Studio Series, the Studio Series, Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, and the Shadow Command Megatron colors.
Oh,
Studio Series Leader Class The Fallen in Hunt for the Decepticons colors.
That would actually slap. I would love to see that. We want to look better. The burning colors.
Yes.
I was going to say, JJ. You know, you were saying earlier about the Sideburn in super mode colors. The only thing I was going to say, and I said this to BC and Bees earlier, I wouldn't bank on that given what Hasbro is like with RID 01. You know, it is that sort of, we'll take it out of the box, take a look and go, yep. We're done.
There's been a 2001 Robots in
Let this
Disguise.
man cook. Let this man cook.
So, you know.
Wait.
What?
A repaint of Legacy United Cybertron Universe Hotshot as Bumblebee.
Transformers Legacy Leader Class Dragon Megatron as Cryotech.
Yes. Or in the same vein, Transformers Legacy United Tigerhawk into Universe 1.0 Razor Claw.
Oh.
Or
Just the hammer again.
Armada Tidal Wave as Energon Tidal Wave.
Oh my God! He killed JJ, you bastard!
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It had happened before, so why not do it?
Transformers 1 Optimus Prime in Nemesis Prime colors.
and Ultra Magnus.
Okay, so jokes aside, I would there's so many colors that I would love to actually see happen for a lot of these characters.
I got one. Just random idea. The upcoming Studio Series Sentinel Prime, especially in his battle mode, in Jetfire colors.
Okay, that is sick.
Oh,
The Legacy Lockdown, repainted as Axor and Circuit.
Yes, I agree. Let the man cook.
No.
Legacy Evolution, Leo Prime, redecoed into what was the repaint? Like shining Lyle
Last
Convoy?
Lyle Convoy.
Yes, repainted into that.
I love you. How are you? I'm gonna kill your Uncle Bees now.
What I do? What I do?
Because you're making me want
What
things.
Inktastic
Is
said.
back.
What Inktastic said.
All right. That would actually slap too. All right, one more repaint for each of us, and then we're moving on to the scrap battle because Daniel Rocha really, really wants to see this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flat out say the one that I genuinely want more than anything is a green Lyle Convoy.
What?
I'm still.
If
I'm
you've seen
still-
Beast Wars second all the way through to the end, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm still surprised we never got the RID 01 Ultra Magnus from the Siege mold.
Gotcha.
That was literally just screaming for that repaint.
The Green Warrior.
I got one, and I'm pretty sure he's definitely gonna slap me for it. Studio Series Ultra Magnus in the Diaclone colors. I'm gonna go run through my life now.
Hey, what happened to Woody?
He farted himself out of existence.
I'm confused.
Studio Series Evac based on the 2007 Blackout repaint.
Damn, he like legit fired himself into the void. What the hell?
Oh. Oh, no. Let's summon him with the Dragon Dagger.
Woody is gone, unfortunately.
Let's see if it works.
Woody's Orb, arise! We need Woody's Orb power now.
There's some lag time here.
Yeah, there is. Anyway, so unless everybody has one more repaint that they want to bring up, we're gonna go ahead and start gearing up to do the scrap battle.
I have one more. Okay. One more.
I mean, I already straight up stated which one I want to see.
For the Power Rangers Dino Fury toy line, back when it was a thing, I would have loved to have seen the T-Rex Dino Fury Zord repainted and retooled into the movie exclusive mecha from Ryu Soldier.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
One more.
Peace Ryujin, I think it's called. That would have been cool.
Yeah, Kishida Eugene.
One more. Use this as a Knights of Unicron Megatron.
Get out.
See, the
Woody, you dead?
Yeah, man.
What happened?
It's all right. It was me. I accidentally fat fingered the back button on my phone and clicked off it.
Are you sure that it wasn't all the gas that was in your body that caused you to do that?
I think your own farts pulled an Aladar and shorted out your own electronics.
No, that's
No, the fact that
you.
he's still here is, well, yeah. Studio Series, Fallen, and Hunt for the Decepticons purple and blue colors, and then Region Nation can ask why it's in gay colors again. Does anyone still remember that old joke? I didn't even know that was an old joke, and somebody already brought that color scheme up. So you're a little late on that one, bud.
Sorry about that. I just accidentally clicked off. Oopsie doopsie.
The problem is the one repaint I can think of I want the most is a slight retool.
And that is?
Just say it anyway. What's TF Legacy?
I really want to see Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar with a retooled head and the colors changed. Maybe some retooled chest. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I want to see it retooled into Psykill.
I knew you were going to say that.
GoBots. The GoBots.
Actually,
guys, what's TF Legacy G1 Target Master Paint point blank in his Japanese headmaster appearance being a remold? I don't know about all that. I mean, look at how poorly point blank sold.
By the way, you know how White Optimus Prime and Nemesis Prime, those are always like consistent repaints after every Optimus toy?
Yeah.
Yes.
What I want to be a consistent repaint of every Megatron toy is the black color scheme that Megatron has from the Cyberverse cartoon.
Ooh.
You know that alternate universe Megatron with the double-barreled fusion cannon with black?
He was called Megatron X, wasn't he?
I want to see more consistent repaints of that more often.
To be fair, we're probably likely to get Megaplex more than...
Hey,
Megaplex?
hey, Hasbro, can we have a Megaplex, please? Please?
Repaint Legacy Titan class Metroplex in G1 colors.
Megaplex was a repaint of Megatron.
Anyways, let's go ahead and call this one for the night. We're done. Let's go ahead and finally make one of our audience members happy, and let's sit down and talk about the next scrap battle, which is the Battle of the Sentinel Primes. Now, I'm going to be very specific in the ones I have chosen for the sake of this battle. The ones I have chosen are IDW version 1.0 and 2.0 because they are different characters. I have chosen Dark of the Moon, animated, and our most recent rendition of him, TF1.
But so you're putting Spark against everybody else?
Effectively, what's going to happen here is, well, yes, this is definitely a scrap battle, and it is a battle royale. Let's be real when I say that, for one, I'm not doing a story for this one. It's gonna take way too long for me to do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and just straight up crown who the hell would actually win. So with that stated,
Boo.
Boo.
With that stated, let's also be 100% real when I say TF1 is probably going to be the first one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. I think it's going to be animated that's the first one out.
No. The one that's going to be the first out is one, and and I have a reason for why I say that.
I also have a reason why.
Is it because he's a giant douchebag?
We're going to get into it. So, with all that stated, so I'm going to call it out right away and say Animated Sentinel is weak sauce. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I also don't 100% agree. Like, I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to Animated Sentinel. Admittedly, it's probably because I have a little bit of an animated bias. I'll go ahead and openly admit it because I am rewatching the show with my son, so I have a lot more time with Animated Sentinel.
I knew it. I knew it.
It's not a Godzilla bias, Woody. You can calm down. It's not a Godzilla bias. Calm down.
I called it. I called it.
Hey, Woody.
Yes.
Bless your heart.
No.
Thank you, Helen. Anyways, let's go ahead and do this real quick. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk overall endurance. And the first boy that we are going to be talking about is Animated Sentinel Prime. He's not getting the point. Moving on. Because let's face it, if we go based on how easily the animated characters can basically get limbs blown off of them, it's safe to say his armor plating is a lot more like paper in comparison to all these other guys.
That and the
Sentinel had
fact
his
that
head
he
taken
lost
off
his
by
head was outright
Headmaster.
funny.
Yeah, that's true. Now, with that being stated, I also genuinely cannot give the point to either TF1 or Dark of the Moon. I really can't get the point to TF1 mainly because he took like maybe a couple slams before his wings finally fell off. Like, and he was kind of getting his ass handed to him by a bot that was significantly smaller than him. Now, granted, he was holding his own pretty decently well, but at the end of the day, it didn't really, kind of didn't matter much now, did it?
Because he got ripped in half.
Exactly. So, anyways, with that being stated,
I just want to talk to him.
Right? See, now at this point, all I want to see now is somebody to clip that specific part where Sentinel was trying to crawl away, and as Megatron's walking on to him, I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. That's it. And Dark of the Moon, I really can't give the point to either, because look at how easily he went down in the end.
And that was really the only fight he even took part in.
Yeah, like every other moment he really didn't do much, and it was kind of annoying and kind of upsetting, because Dark of the Moon Sentinel, as a character, he had such potential. Yeah, exactly, Ink. This is my planet. And then he basically just got completely overpowered by Megatron. It was disappointing.
I don't think
especially after watching how solidly Dark of the Moon could throw hands. Watching how quickly he went down is very disappointing.
Yeah,
I don't think the Megatron defeat is something to go off on, because if you think about it, he was completely owning Optimus Prime until Megatron showed up, and then Optimus killed Megatron. It's like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, but even then, with how much of an ass whooping he was giving Optimus, he still should have been able to even somewhat hold his own against Megs, even if he was shot in the back. But he still should have been able to hold his own, and look at how easily he was overpowered.
I feel like
just that overall, like, even then, keeping in mind the Bay movies are a mess as a whole.
And also factor in that, like, it was a complete, it took him completely by surprise. I'm sure probably he was still reeling from what the heck was happening.
Exactly. Like, I can almost guarantee if he would have been actually, like, turned around and actually fighting against Megatron, he would have put up a much better fight. But at the end of the day, the point stands. We're talking how thick is the armor plating. When it comes to armor plating, when it comes to endurance overall, I personally feel IDW 1.0 is the one that's going to take the point here.
Yeah.
And, I mean, for those who know, you know. Just flat out, you know. Like, if anybody who's seen IDW 1.0 Sentinel design, you know that design can take some fucking punishments.
And if you've read the comics, you know what kind of punishment he has taken.
Exactly. So, with that being stated, I feel the most comfortable giving the endurance point. Okay, hold on. Instead of just outright picking one to get the point, which ones overall would get the point? So, obviously, across the board, we all unanimously agree IDW 1.0 definitely gets the endurance point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And given the fact that Briggs did make some solid points, I will concede a little bit here, and I'll give the endurance point to Dark of the Moon as well.
Okay.
Would anybody like to make an argument for IDW 2.0?
I know nothing about him.
Got nothing on.
Same.
He's just
Nothing.
not 1.0.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so for endurance, we can all agree IDW 1.0 and Dark of the Moon take endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Now, let's move on to overall speed. And once again, we start with TF1. We can all unanimously agree he's not getting speed either, right?
Nope.
I mean, he does have speed, but does that mean he's the speediest of the bunch is the question.
Exactly, and I'm sorry, no.
Again, he is the only Sentinel. He's one of the few Sentinels in this list who actually has a jet mode and flight capabilities.
Yeah, and even then, how much has he actually put that on display? Like, how fast has he actually gone? And
then IDW, he's also a spaceship mode.
We never saw his ult mode in the movie, by the way. So, yeah.
Yeah, we never saw the alt mode in the movie, so unfortunately, we really can't count that here either, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, the alt mode was only created for the toys, so yeah.
Exactly, which is unfortunate, but whatever.
In the after show, I have a whole theory about that, but we'll get into that later.
I actually would love to hear that after the show, so we'll definitely get into that. Maybe even the after party. We'll see.
Well, that's what I was saying. The after party.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, no. As soon as we get to the after party, I definitely want to hear that in further detail. So everybody, when we get to the after party, everybody shuts up and lets him talk.
Because again, it's just a theory, so it doesn't apply to this fight. It's not a set in stone fact.
Okay. So with that being stated, everybody, so speed feat. Obviously, TF1 is not getting the point. We're just going to go ahead and brush him off. Now, animated really isn't going to take this either. We have kind of seen Sentinel throw hands in animated, not very intelligently, but we have seen it, and he can swing that lance pretty quick. So,
but he is also that big chunky snowplow truck mode. It's not a. We have seen him speed in it pretty quickly, but is it the fastest vehicle?
No, it's not.
No.
Now, with that being stated, though, Dark of the Moon, the way that boy can throw fucking hands.
Surprisingly spry for his age.
Exactly.
Yeah,
despite his age and despite how big and bulky his body is, he can move surprisingly quick. I mean, for fuck's sake, he was going up against a face ripper. He has to be able to hold his own. So, Dark of the Moon, how do I put this? Basically, the Dark of the Moon Sentinel, I'm definitely adding him into you're definitely getting the point. But then we get to IDW 2.0 and 1.0. 2.0, Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move him right underneath where the other two live right now. So, IDW 1.0. I know we've seen him throw hands, but I also know for a fact he's not the fastest thing on ever. So I feel it's fair overall that if we're going to be 100% fair, as much as this one hurts me, based entirely around specific feats, I'm giving speed to Dark of the Moon and TF1. TF1 because of the flight.
I was also going to add, he did use his flight capabilities a lot in that early fight between him and Megatron when they were inside the tower.
You mean D16?
And it did give Megatron a struggle until Sentinel got distracted by the recording later.
And which then,
Megatron clipped his wings.
He got turned into shish kebab. Anyways,
he became a hashtag.
Anyways, now this is where things are going to get really interesting. Let's talk physical strength.
Ooh.
Here's CF1. Punts him off into the distance because he's not winning this either. Is this slightly TF1 Sentinel slander? You could say yes. You could say yes. Do I care? No. Fuck him. That said, what you call it? So after that, let's talk animated. Animated physical strength wise, I mean, he has to be able to hold back a lot of punishment as well. And due to the many abilities his shield has, he has to be able to not move an inch when that shield is out. So You could technically say he has a strength feat as well.
I think
But-
it's because his chin takes most of the punishment. Someone had to
You know-
bring it up.
You know what? No. Because you chose to make that joke, I'm keeping that as his.
Do you know what, BC? Do you know what, BC? I'm making an official rule. Based on that joke, Sentinel gets a point just for that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Sandal get the point entirely because of that.
Little Crimson Chin gets something.
That chin protected him from so much.
Exactly.
Except for the headmaster.
Oh God. Anyway.
Anyway.
Dark, so Dark of the Moon, physical strength. I mean, he yeeted a bunch of carbots around like they were fucking nothing. So that's gotta count.
He went toe to toe with Ironhide.
No, he didn't.
Not
No, he didn't. He killed
Really?
Ironhide at the back.
Yeah, he shot Ironhide in the back, and I gave that some thought. I have a theory about that, and we're gonna get into that as soon as he's done with his theory for the after party, because I'm convinced on something, and somebody a long time ago brought it up, and I can't unsee it now. So, well, I'm gonna go into it at the end, during the after party. So, so that said, Dark of the Moon strength feat wise, he I mean, again, he was more than able to physically overpower Optimus. He was able to throw around a bunch of the carbots like it was nothing. Granted, he used his shield to throw a bunch of them off, but at the end of the day, he still more than held his own.
And he managed to chop off Prime's arm.
He also turned Megatron into a fish.
Yeah,
One could say he disarmed him. Thank you. I'm here till Thursday.
That's a me joke.
Oh my gosh.
anyways. For the strength feat, IDW 2.0 really doesn't get it either, so I don't even know why he's here at this point. I guess at this point I just felt bad for 2.0 as a whole. So
2.0 was literally written to be more of a plot device than he was a character.
yeah, exactly. That poor bastard. That being stated, oh God.
So basically, what you're saying is that Sentinel 2.0 the business at the meeting was, you mean on the plot point? Oh, I thought I was going to do something this week.
I
Exactly.
did something.
Now 1.0. 1.0. Let's talk about 1.0. So 1.0 is basically able to throw hands with bots that were significantly larger than him.
Let's just say he has this IDW 1.0 Sentinel has the title of Prime for a good reason.
Yeah, like that version was able to fight enemies that were like significant. Again, for one, significantly larger than him. And two, he more than had the physical strength to throw motherfuckers around like it was nothing. So when it comes to physical strength, I feel the most comfortable only giving it to one, and that one being IDW 1.0. So that's the strength feat done. Unless anybody wants to argue me, or at least try to argue in the case of anybody else.
No.
I got nothing.
All right, then we will move on. The next one, armor and weapons. Now this one, TF1 might actually get a point with that battle mode. Because he came packing heat.
Yeah.
You know, both hands can become arm cannons. legs and chest and missiles just abundant, and a big old shield that he can just swing and bash around.
Yep.
So yeah, like TF1 might actually be getting a point this time around. So hey. Anyways,
Good for you. He gets a cookie.
Animated Sentinel. He has the lance and the shield. That's basically it.
And the
Yeah,
chin.
anime not winning this.
Yeah, and it is
the
definitely not
chin.
taking this. Was somebody talking?
And the
Said-
chin.
And I said, and his chin.
And his chin. And his chin. It's not going to help him, but he does have his chin. What the
Look,
fuck?
That chin of his can
Look.
sink the Titanic.
Look, we're giving him. Look, I'm just saying, Animated Sentinel is getting bonus points simply based on his chin.
Yeah, basically. Dark of the Moon.
Seriously.
He had Dark of the Moon. He's definitely not going to be taking a point this time around because all he really has is his Cosmic Rust Cannon, his sword, and his shield. That's basically all he has.
Yeah.
Now if we really wanted to be petty about it, though, we could immediately try and claim that his Voyager figure's mech tech weapon. We could give that to him. We could.
No,
Not going to help, but you could count it.
we would have to give other characters in the past their mech tech weapons as well.
Exactly, and at that point, it's not going to matter. So IDW 2.0, he has the rifle.
Pew pew.
IDW 1.0,
He has his.
that's a
bare
one-man army. So when it comes to overall weaponry, surprisingly, the two that get the point is 1.0 and 1. That feels weird.
Excuse me. God damn. Sorry.
Also, on top of that, again, just adding a little bit into the. Or actually, no. Let's just move on. I'll bring it up later.
Okay, so even with all their strength feats, their speed feats, their endurance, their armor, their weapons, hell, even some ability that some may have over others, and none of it matters if they can't utilize any of their weapons and such correctly, which is where arguably the most important segment comes in. Battle intelligence. Let's think this through. TF1.
I've already got
He
a couple
was
of
a
points.
scion of the Primes, or what was the technical term he had?
I feel like the only reason why he had an advantage over a lot of his opponents is because he was busy fighting cogless bots who didn't know much, if anything, about fighting, had no firepower. So naturally, D16, DK6. Gosh, I'm sorry, I can't brain right now. Yeah, will eventually become Megatron. Honestly, I mean, yeah, he has the fusion cannon, but that wouldn't mean a whole lot if he didn't have any fighting skills. So I feel like he had an unfair advantage over his opponents in that regard.
To be fair, he did help to take out most of the primes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. What the hell did they actually call him? There was a technical thing. There was a technical term to what his position was.
I think he was just like an emissary of the primes or something like that.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Basically, as the emissary of the primes, he was basically tasked with, how do I put this? He was basically tasked with providing intel to the primes, like low key and behind the scenes, which is basically what led to him realizing, wait a fucking second, they are losing this war. The Quintessons are making me a pretty sweet offer where I don't have to answer to anybody. I'm going to go with that. If for those who may claim that that's a intelligence feat, get out.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't take super intelligence to figure out that kind of plan. Starscream thinks of those on a daily basis.
Exactly. You're nothing special, Sentinel. Sit your ass down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give
Yeah,
TF1.
Actually, no, he is special. He is special. He's special ed.
I'm not gonna give TF1 the point for battle intelligence. He relies too much on manipulation.
Exactly. He relies solely on manipulation tactics, and that's why ultimately in the end he was the one that they basically got.
He also had a
because
lot of-
his
he also had a lot
manipulation
of
tactics
assistance
couldn't
from
work
Arachne.
on somebody who already knew what his play was.
Yep.
A lot of his feats are only accomplished through the help of others. Like the defeat of the Primes was only helped because the Quintesson soldiers were there, and the defeat of Alpha Trion and other characters was because of Arachnid and his troops.
Yes, Arachnid. I feel like did some, if not most, or even all of his dirty work.
Basically, and the fact that he relies too much on the idea of being the king within his own realm is what really helped to kind of turn him into a joke. And so, yeah, it's safe to say, sorry, TF1, you can keep your armor and weapons point, but you're not. No, you ain't getting battle intelligence.
Or shit.
Now,
So,
if there's one that I can argue and say is basically far worse than TF1 is animated. And let me tell you why. As much as I may have a bias for Transformers animated, here's one thing that drives me batty about this show, especially after coming back to it and rewatching it within recent time. Who here remembers the big old mission gone wrong that led to Black Arachnia's birth? If memory serves me correctly, who was the one that said it was a good idea to do this mission in the first place?
Bumblebee? Yeah,
It was Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Sentinel was the one that thought, "Oh, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be nothing to worry about."
A cakewalk.
Everything goes wrong. Alita dies. What's Sentinel's immediate fucking plan? Hit the whole thing on Optimus and then force him to get demoted down to basically slum while he ascended to a higher rank. I'm sorry, but if we were to actually really sit down and look at the footage for this real quick, yo bitch ass Sentinel, your chin ain't gonna fucking save you this time. You were the one that said this was such a good idea. It all went wrong, and then to save your own fucking ass, you decided to fucking pit all the blame on Optimus so that you could succeed.
Also, on top of that,
if defamation was a fucking case here, Optimus would have his ass squealing.
And then
Optimus would be targeted.
he decided to hire Lockdown to track down and capture and imprison the Decepticons, and took all the credit. I'm like, yeah, I caught them myself. And then eventually yeah, I want to say they all escaped. It's been a while since I watched the show. Dude, okay, fist bump. That was great. He took the credit.
Fist bump.
Escaped, and then Prowl managed to recapture them, if memory serves correct. And then,
Yes, and that's
then,
when
there's
he.
one
And that's when
Autobot in
that was the
Elite Guard.
second time he donned the samurai armor, and that time he actually keeps it for the rest of the duration of the show.
Yeah, so then there's one Autobot in the Elite Guard. Like when they were talking about Sentinel Prime capturing those Autobots, Cliffjumper's like, I thought that was Prowl. So I'm sure that probably hurt Sentinel's fragile ego, the fact that there's at least one person in the Elite Guard who wasn't buying it.
I am convinced at this point that Sentinel Prime is from Transformers Animated is the poster boy child of a very stereotypical modern day alpha male.
One could also
Moving on. We're moving
JJ,
on
were you
now.
trying to say
Let's go
something?
ahead and sit down.
another topic.
Were you trying to say something, JJ?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to say something about the whole Sentinel Prime asking Lockdown to capture the Decepticons. I feel like Sentinel Prime was a bit kind of dumb in that kind of sense because he didn't even know that Lockdown was in cahoots with Megatron.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't he state that he wasn't on anyone's side? It's just whoever paid him the most or something?
Yeah. Whoever had the better pay.
Also, on top of that,
Apparently
animated
Megatron had better
Sentinel
pay.
doesn't listen to his own men.
Even when his own men clearly are smarter than him in this particular case.
Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Jazz.
Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, animated Jazz.
Yeah, thank you, Jazz, for listening to Optimus Prime. Please, thank you.
Yeah.
So with that being stated, let's go ahead and move on for Battle Intelligence. Let's move on to Dark of the Moon. Now, this version of Sentinel, he was the leader of the Autobots before Optimus was. He taught Optimus everything that he knows. So therefore, you could definitely say that Sentinel Prime, he definitely has some tactics up his sleeve. How do you think he was able to keep the fact that he was in cahoots with Megatron under wraps as long as he did? Let's not talk about the fact that he went under stasis for a while.
I mean, also adding to that, technically the whole plan of Dark of the Moon was a plan that was set in motion for thousands and thousands of years. That does take a lot of planning and preparation.
Exactly. And at that point, it's definitely true that battle intelligence-wise, it would definitely prove that Dark of the Moon Sentinel is pretty decently smart, because how else would he have been able to figure out that the only way to remotely handle anything at this point was to basically strike a bargain with Megatron.
Now, I don't know if this was a testament to Megatron's intelligence or Sentinel's intelligence or both. I have no idea. But they also mentioned in Dark of the Moon that the location that they picked, where they put the pillars, it was almost like Chicago became a fortress. And, they were able to raise the bridges, and they were and again, the pillars were perfectly placed in their position, and then they had, you know what I'm saying? They strategically used their environment in order to make it difficult for the Autobots and humans to defeat them.
Yeah, and you could definitely argue that is a testament to Sentinel Prime and Megatron. But for the sake of this, we're going to focus more on the Sentinel half of it.
Because, we did see in the movie that Sentinel did kind of take command a little too much. And Megatron didn't like that.
And it's literally a case of that was the sole reason he did that was because, well, let's face it, he was the smarter of them.
He done made Megatron his bitch.
That he did.
Megatron. He fooled Megatron.
Which trust? Megatron paid that back in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fooled Megatron.
Oh, show.
Now, that being said, battle intelligence-wise, I definitely feel Dark of the Moon more than fits for this category as well.
Yeah.
IDW 2.0, honestly, at this point, I don't think there's even a point to talking about him because of the fact that, like Brick said, he was basically a plot device. And because of that, we really can't use him for any form of battle intelligence because, well, he really didn't get to fight in a war.
He's disqualified.
He's been basically disqualified entirely. And if I change my mind and do the story half, poor 2.0. Poor 2.0. He's about to get his shit rocked.
To sum up the thoughts on 2.0 Sentinel Prime, pretty much we didn't love him, we didn't hate him, he was just there.
He was just there. He had a hell of an attitude, though. I'll give him that. So that said, battle intelligence wise, let's talk 1.0 and good fucking Christ. You know what? Bricks, I'm gonna let you take over this one for just a little bit because you clearly hold a much larger amount of knowledge in this realm than I do. So,
well, I mean, not by a huge margin, but I mean, IDW.
okay, now let me rephrase that. You have a better memory on how 1.0 was than I do.
Well, I mean, honestly, in terms of battle intelligence, he's honestly kind of on the same level as Dark of the Moon Sentinel, only his merits were more for good rather than evil. Like, you know, he pretty much was the same character, just he was an actual good guy. He wasn't an evil, villain who teamed with Megatron.
Yeah, he wasn't a traitor, exactly.
He did make some questionable choices, but like overall he still meant well, and he didn't apologize for anything that he did. He made his choices, he made his decisions, and he had to live with them.
He threw away morals and replaced it with order and justice,
pretty much,
which is ultimately what and led to him getting So, I think it's safe to say the one that overall takes battle intelligence for sure. Between all five of them, for the sake of it, I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna give battle intelligence to 1.0 and Dark of the Moon. But now comes the final verdict. Who all do we feel is going to win this battle royale? Let's go. Bricks, you first. Who do you feel of everyone is going to win? And please take this seriously. No more jokes for the rest of the night, at least. But at least for the rest of Scrap Battle, no more jokes. Let's actually try and get this done.
IDW 1.0.
Okay, do you have a reason why?
Essentially, he just met the most points in criteria.
Okay.
He got the most points and met the most requirements even if he didn't gain a point, he still, in some categories, he still had something to offer in some categories.
Okay, so then let's change this up a little bit then. Who would you want to win this?
IDW 1.0.
Okay, fair enough then. Moving on. JJ. Final verdict. Who do you feel is going to win and who do you want to win?
Who do I feel is going to win? I think for me, I'm going to pick, as much as I hate his character, because of him murdering Ironhide, I think I'm just going to choose. I feel like Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime will be the winner of this scrap battle, and yeah, I definitely want him to win. As much as I hate this character.
Wait, so do you want him to win, or do you feel like he's going to win?
Oh. So two different. Okay, so I feel Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime is going to win, but I definitely want animated Sentinel Prime to win.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. This is getting ridiculous. What you do?
What? What? Well, you're a Power Ranger. You gotta strike poses. What are you
Guess
doing?
what? We're trying to take this seriously, and you're making fun of us all. Guess what? Get the fuck out of there. Put his ass back down there.
What? Dick, you snuck the fucking helmet right off me.
Quick,
It's
catch him. He's
Q-tip.
powerless.
How did that even happen? How did that even happen?
It's a Q-tip.
Mm.
Mighty Morphin Q-Tip Ranger.
The Q-tip with a Viagra blade.
Oh, never mind.
Anyways, Bees, go ahead and tell us who you feel is going to win and who you want to win.
Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime.
Okay, do you feel he's going to win or do you want him to win?
I feel he's going to win because of his strategy. He may not be as loaded with weapons like TF1 Sentinel, but I feel like his fighting skills, his strategy, his strategy prowess. What's your problem? I'm not the one who ate chili cheese fries like the guy out there trying to throw me under the bus. Hashtag fart gay.
Get to it.
Anyway, strategy. I feel like what he makes up for in his lack of like what TF1 Sentinel has. I feel like he makes up for it in his fighting skills and strategy prowess.
Okay, so you feel Dark of the Moon is going to win.
Yes.
Who do you want to win?
Dark of the Moon Sentinel.
Okay, so you're just Dark of the Moon all the way. All right.
Pretty much, yeah.
So basically, we have 1 for 1.0 and 2 for Dark of the Moon. And 1 for animated.
Animated in his chin.
All right. Woody.
I'm going to give 3 votes, and I'll explain why. Who I want to win, IDW 1.0. I think overall his abilities put him at a clear advantage over all the others. Who I want to, Dark of the Moon, and I'm just putting a mark against Animated Sentinel just so he feels special.
You love his big ass chin too much, don't you?
Look, BC. He's getting a gold star just because. A
gold star
what?
he gave to himself.
I'll allow it because he committed to the bit. I'll allow it. All right, Dreamer. Do your best.
I mean, based on all what I heard, I'd say probably 1.0 would win. But I mean, I also have to kind of looking at the pictures of animated in his chin. I mean, maybe his chin,
He's more chin than bot now.
No, I mean, maybe we should, give him a fair shake just for the poor chin.
Look. If
it got 3 fucking points.
I'm surprised we never got the modern
look.
way of Sentinel.
just basically, based on this, it looks like Animated Sentinel is just getting an honorary win. Just
It's
based on the amount of.
you get the gold star, buddy. You get the gold star.
Can he have 2 gold stars from me? I mean, just the poor chin.
It's like, yeah, look,
Tell you
we know.
If Rob happens to pick animated under any circumstance, then yes, you can have that other gold star.
Okay, thank you.
Speaking of,
Who do I feel is gonna win? It's probably gonna be 1.0. Who do I want to win? Dark in the Moon, because I want to see him witness shooting TF1 in the falls with his cosmic rust can. That animated just knocking people out with his chin.
Yay, he gets a 2nd gold star from me.
okay, so
When animated
Who-
Sentinel
so-
headbutts someone, it's just his chin.
I'll tell you what. So say.
Look.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. For you guys, how about we do this? I'm gonna say who I want to win this, but I'm mainly gonna go like when it comes to who I feel is gonna win is gonna be the story.
So basically, what we're saying is,
of all these characters, who I want to win of all of these Sentinels, I'm not giving animated another gold star, just accept it. Who I personally want to see pull through, genuinely Dark of the Moon.
Okay.
Story time.
But who I feel is gonna win.
Story
So,
time. Story time.
so basically, when we see animated Sentinel Prime get his ass kicked and he's laid on the floor, someone just comes in, puts a gold star on him, and says, "Good job, buddy."
No, he gets the participation trophy that Bees has. You give him that participation trophy.
No. Animated Sentinel doesn't get a participation
Yes, he
trophy. He doesn't get a
does.
winner's trophy. Animated Sentinel gets a firm handshake.
He gets a participation trophy
Yes,
because
brother
everybody
organic.
feels sad for him.
You mean this trophy?
Yes.
He gets his own.
Scrap battle. Battle of the Sentinels. Let's begin.
I thought there was no story time.
Scrap battle, battle royale! All contestants enter. Portals open up, and all of our contestants fly through. All of their stats appear on a screen up above. They're all wondering what the hell is even going on. TF1 is looking around at everyone and simply just chuckles like, "Ha! This is going to be easy." And then he gets one look at 1.0, initially thinking, I could definitely take him. 1.0 glares at him. All his weaponry just pops out of nowhere. And one all of a sudden just immediately goes, I think I sprung a leak. I had Megatron's transformation cogged up. I think I can do this. Animated is already, at this point, seeing the competition, knows this doesn't look good for him. 2.0 is looking around like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? But at this point, 1.0 and Dark the Moon, they're already eyeing each other. They can already tell if they're like, depending on what goes down here, these two are going to be the ones that really are really going to be taking each other on. So, the bell rings, and all of them are off fighting. IDW 1.0 immediately tackles Dark of the Moon. They are fighting it out. So now at this point, TF1 is already trying to plot out precisely how he is going to end this. How precisely can he take the win, so to speak, and try to use this as a way to show how great he really is? Animated, at this point, he is deliberately choosing to hide behind whatever the hell he can with his shield and lance out. So he's not completely cowering away, but he is making himself look like a bit of an egotistical bitch. 2.0 at this point is genuinely just trying to get everybody to calm down to see if we can just talk this out for a second. We don't have to do all this fighting. None of this has to. And then he gets bisected. And his top half just drops. One had already cut 2.0 in half. The first kill has happened. And now one is looking around to see what can he use to try to get the upper hand on the two that are significantly more powerful than him. And at this point, this is where Animated decides to step in. He charges right at one, and he bashes him right onto the ground. Leaps up, and he goes to stab down with the lance. And then takes 1,000,001 missiles to the chin. One starts flying up, and he basically reminds Animated Sentinel, you need to understand, the truth is what I make it. And the truth here is I am about to break you. Ooh. The dust clears, and while Animated Sentinel is absolutely damaged from head to toe, barely standing on 2 feet, swaying back and forth, somehow his chin just looks fucking glorious, Bill. One, at this point, clearly he's just jealous. So he flies in and he tackles Animated and he slams him right into the wall. And as he's laughing, Animated stabs the lance right through one's chest.
Ooh.
Animated simply looking at him and he goes, you were never, ever going to be one of the elite guard, no matter how hard you try. And when he slammed him down, he went and he pulled the blade out. But the moment he did, one's dead body fires off one final missile, and as Animated Sentinel was limping away, the missile hit him in the back. He flies forward, slams onto the ground, his head rolls off, and at this point, a poor person in the crowd just walks up, looks down at him, here you go, buddy, and gives him a gold star for participating.
Good job, buddy.
So now at this point, it's down to the other two, where they are throwing hands. Every single time 1.0 throws a massive punch and he hits that shield, he's actually backing Dark of the Moon into a wall, and he is doing everything in his power. He's doing everything in his power to just genuinely, physically outdo Dark of the Moon. But Dark of the Moon can already tell, yeah, he's big and he's powerful, but he's slow. So he's basically just biding his time, waiting for the right moment. And right when 1.0 cocks back with that massive right hook, Dark of the Moon sees this as an opportunity. He ducks underneath and he slashes right at the arm. But the armor plating is a lot thicker on 1.0. So even though he got in a really good slash, unfortunately, it really didn't do much. So at this point, 1.0 spins around, he grabs a hold of him, and he throws him as hard as he can. Dark of the Moon was waiting for that. While he was midair, he gained some level of control to have air control, basically. Pulls out the Cosmic Rust Cannon, and he aims at all of his weaponry. He fired 5 shots. He hit 2. At this point, 1.0 can tell he had 2 hits, but he wasn't feeling anything initially. But then he looked at one of his shoulder cannons and he saw it was literally rusting away. He looked around to see what else was hit. And at this point, he decided, you know what? You want to fucking play? Let's fucking play. And he just completely disengages his weaponry. And he puts his hands up Like he wants to fucking go hand, like he wants to throw fucking hands now. Dark of the Moon has a sense of honor. To an extent, he has a sense of honor. He's clear as day sees 1.0. At this point, neither of them are getting anywhere.
Mm.
So Dark of the Moon throws his rust cannon, throws his shield, and stabs his blade into the ground, and he puts his fists up as well.
Mm.
Now it's bare knuckle brawling for both of them.
Ooh.
At this point, they're both going at it, and they are beating the dog shit out of each other.
Oh boy.
1.0 clocks Dark of the Moon in the head. Dark of the Moon throws a solid jab right into the rib cage. 1.0 slams down and then picks him up and power bombs Dark of the Moon. But Dark of the Moon rolls back and kicks 1.0 right in the head. Like at this point, it's just blow after blow after blow after blow, just beating the absolute dog shit out of each other. It's a genuine, absolute massacre. But for anybody who genuinely knows how things go when it comes to scrap battle, you know there can only truly be one winner in a battle royale for scrap battle. Am I right? So, 1.0 caught back with a very powerful right, but Dark of the Moon tackles 1.0, slams him onto the ground, gets on top, and he just starts wailing on him. And just keeps going and going and going and going and going. But unfortunately for Dark of the Moon, without his weapons, there's only so much he can do. Because when 1.0 finally catches one of those fists, he twists that bitch around to a point where he rips Dark of the Moon's arm off.
The irony.
Picks him off, and now at this point, as easy as it would be for 1.0 to just start beating the fucking shit out of Dark of the Moon with his own arm.
He gave himself.
He is honoring no weapons. So he tosses that arm to the side. He runs right at Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon, at this point, completely crippled because he only has one arm. Now he knows how Optimus feels. So at this point, Dark of the Moon, he doesn't know what else to do at this point. So he has to wait until 1.0 is just close enough to attempt to swing at him. Right when 1.0 was just close enough, that's when he went for the swing. But 1.0, bob and weave, punches Dark of the Moon right in the head is so ridiculously hard that he basically rock'em sock'em roboted his head clear across the field. Dark of the Moon drops. 1.0 simply just cracks his knuckles, throws his arms up in the air, and the crowd goes wild. IDW 1.0 wins the scrap battle.
And not Transformers 1.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hey, at least Animated got his gold star, right?
Yeah. He won the battle in an honorary sense.
That actually became a thing here. Thank you, Ink. Thank you.
Well done.
You could tell I was struggling with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I have these better planned out.
Wait. Why do we call IDW 1.0 Sentinel Prime instead we call him Titans Return Sentinel Prime?
Because Titans Return Sentinel Prime is 2.0.
Ah, okay.
Haha! Thought you had me there, did you? Haha!
AKA the living plot device.
What you?
Hey, BC, could you do me a favor?
What?
Could you use the hammer again on the helmet and knock it off again?
No!
Swing, bada, bada, bada. Swing, bada, bada, bada. So,
I'm protected if I'm using this.
No, you're not.
Oh, you're not?
Knock it out of his hand.
Dreamer, use your special ability to cripple him.
It doesn't work on him.
Why not?
I don't know.
Because I've known her longer than all of you guys, so I've naturally developed a resistance.
I mean, Bees has become too powerful. He's been blinded by his power.
Do it now.
okay, you know what? Do that one more time. One more time. Do your thing one more time.
How about no?
Fine, fuck you then. I gave you a chance.
Back to the nether realm.
And Clyde.
You're going to the shadow realm, Jimbo.
Ah, it's been 10,000 years. It's time to conquer Earth.
Time for no, wrong series.
You're just a sore loser.
Well, at least he doesn't have a Viagra blade.
Mm.
So I guess
So,
this would be considered the after.
You gonna get
party,
out of
right?
that suit now, Bees? Because it's time for the after party.
Just hit him with the hammer. He hit you before you shot him, Bees. It's time for you to fall and be graceful about it.
Fall!
No.
And smash it with a hammer.
Hey, so you know how Bees is consistently ignoring damage. Well, guess what? I'm doing the same thing now.
That's the thing. When I'm wearing this suit, I'm basically all powerful, especially with this on. But
He's been
but just for
blinded
the
by
sake-
power.
Do
just
it
for the sake of
again.
being able to see again, I'm gonna go off screen and demorph.
Yeah, because nobody wants to see that.
Anyways, moving on. All right, so Bricks, you had a theory about TF1.
Yes, I do. So, the fact that TF1 Sentinel did not transform throughout the entire movie, I thought was a little weird. That was until we found out that he had Megatronus Prime's cog. I wonder if his transformation into his alternate mode is somehow too powerful for him to handle. Or at least perhaps for some reason he doesn't choose to use Megatronus Prime's cog to transform because it would be too overpowered and it would reveal himself to be, like it would reveal too much about him, taking his cog. Is it interesting that he doesn't turn into a vehicle mode throughout the entire movie, especially when he's presenting himself to others, and then we find out he happens to have someone else's cog?
Yeah, that is rather interesting.
Maybe that's why he kind of removed so many cogs from the ones who would become Autobots in the end, because he couldn't transform and he wanted others to feel like that. So.
Yeah, but technically that doesn't apply to some characters because there were some characters who become Autobots that were in the race. Like Silverbolt and Blur and Chromia.
That's true.
All right, well,
And
So
then
what
you
was
had
your
something,
theory?
BC?
I was going to say that theory you had about Ironhide.
yes, Dark of the Moon Ironhide. So, Dark of the Moon Ironhide. Here's my theory on that. So we know that Ironhide physically is one of the strongest of the Autobots, right? We know that. We know that for a fact.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, in
So-
animated, he became metal. So.
Yeah. So in the Bayverse, Ironhide Sentinel would definitely know of Ironhide's prowess, and he would know damn well that even if he wasn't 100% the smartest, eventually Ironhide would have caught on that something wasn't quite right with Sentinel. He would have figured it out by then. And if that was the case, Ironhide physically
Would have whipped his ass.
would have whipped his ass. Like, I basically just uncovered you're a traitor, and now I'm going to whip your ass before Optimus even has to find out. Sentinel clearly knew that. So that's why, before Ironhide even had a chance to figure that out, he put him down. Henceforth revealing that he was a traitor. He knew for a fact that if Ironhide was anywhere in that final battle, he would have been in a shit ton of trouble. Because Ironhide is a fucking brawler. He would have beat the dog shit out of him.
It's not just that he's a brawler. He is arguably the most heavily armed of all the Autobots.
I'm sorry, what was that about Hound?
At the time, Ironhide was arguably the most heavily armed Autobots.
There you go.
So even if there was a fight, even if it was a slugfest, even if it didn't get to a slugfest, Ironhide would have had a weapon handy to blow a nice big hole in Sentinel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Sentinel knew damn well that a fight with Ironhide was suicide. So therefore, that's why he put him down like the dog that he was. Because at that point, he knew damn well Ironhide would have helped turn the tide. So by getting rid of him, he got rid of one of their best weapon specialists, which in turn meant he got rid of one of their best fighters. So yeah, that was overall my theory about
And if you look at the way Ironhide died and his position when he died, it looked like he'd already cottoned on to the situation and was going to, call for support.
But unfortunately, Sentinel was not going to let that happen because, fuck you, Michael Bay. Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah. That overall was how I felt about Ironhide. Or that's my theory about why Ironhide was basically chosen to be Sentinel's first Autobot kill on screen.
Yeah. And totally wasn't anything to do with contractual obligations. No.
Yeah, totally not. Totally not.
Totally nothing to do. No, totally nothing to do with GMC canceling the, ceasing selling the Top Kick at all and scrapping all future versions of it. Nah, nothing to do with that.
Wait, that's actually why he was killed off.
A lot of the.
To be fair, given how many toys were discontinued in '86, that's why all of those characters got basically killed off in the '86 movie.
The reason why a lot of bots never appeared from Revenge of the Fallen to Dark of the Moon was simply down to the fact that the cards they were based on were scrapped. They weren't selling them anymore, so obviously they were like, yeah, we're not selling the Chevy Spark, so no more Jolt for you.
Yeah, but they still sold Jolt in Dark of the Moon, which is really weird.
He was probably planned to be in Dark of the Moon, but then all this stuff came around and they were like, well, fuck, what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think about it, Michael Bay did offer a cash prize to anyone who did spot Skids, Mudflap, and Jolt in Dark of the Moon.
Well, I only could spot Skids and Mudflap in vehicle mode, but not Jolt.
Yeah, all three are. Jolt's in the movie, but he's seen as briefly as the twins.
Okay, what scene?
I forget what scene it was, but he is in the movie in a very quick blink and you'll miss it flat paint shot.
Probably when they were in a convoy returning back to the base.
I think he was in the same. I think he was in the same convoy that Skids and Mudflap are in, but you just see that.
No.
Basically, you see his. It's.
Joel was never in Darkened Moon to begin with. He totally disappeared after Revenge of the Fallen.
Okay, how about this? For the sake of the argument, let's just say the power that he put into using Optimus and Jetfire was so ridiculously powerful that ultimately he sacrificed himself to get them to combine. Can we all agree?
No,
Can we all agree?
that works. Or maybe he used so much energy that being Optimus Prime's defibrillator that he.
Defibrillator.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Damn it! I'm out of power.
This is the scene right here, but there's only like 4 Autobots in this scene.
Anyways, it is getting a little late over by me, so I think it's about time we go ahead and wrap this up. The next topic, I'm gonna go ahead and just set it up.
I want to show something off real quick.
You go ahead and you do that, my boy, while I fix this up.
All right, so I got this last weekend. Is the Amazon exclusive Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron, the Ghost. Basically, okay, yeah, it comes with the vehicle as it was seen in Transformers Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. Give me my franchises mixed up. What's the matter with me? I'm turning into Aladar. Oh my god. Anyway, Star Wars Rebels, the Disney series that was made back in. Anyway, comes with Phantom 1 by default. Phantom 2 will be released individually on its own. And God, okay, Jazzwares. I guess clearly they have a Star Wars toy license, which I don't know the exact details of what it's limited to, but oh my gosh, I love what Jazzwares has been doing. They I honestly prefer the bigger vehicles from the Galaxy Micro Squadron. I think I'm saying that right. Line. The bigger ones are the best because they have the lights and sounds. The thrusters. It's motion activated. The thrusters light up and blaster noises. And they're little mini figurines of the crew. Can I open this with the top on? I think I should be able to. Okay, well, for the sake of not breaking this by accident, I'm going to take it off. I'll take the top off. Wait, actually. Oh, I didn't even put this on right. God bless America. Oh, it just turned off. Yeah, I love this thing so much. It is so freaking cool. And God, stop making noise. I said stop making noise. You're not listening.
All right, we're back.
Anyway, okay, I think it's definitely. Wait, this. Anyway, yeah, there's the crew of the Ghost in there, little mini figurines of them. It is so freaking cool. And when you drop this, it makes sounds.
Hey, so I don't. As much as I don't want to cut this off, it is getting late.
Okay.
So he's tired. I'm tired. It's been a day. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna go ahead and
Rob sleeping on camera.
yeah. So with that stated, who here is ready to see what the next topic is and what next week's scrap battle is? I know one of you is going to be super excited for this one.
Can I ask the question? GBC, what are we going to talk about next week?
I'm glad you asked.
It's gonna be this type of.
Maybe I'm siphoning whatever energy you have left.
The same
Anyways,
thing we
our
do
favorite
every
movie.
Friday. Try to take over the world.
And
Yeah, and the brain.
I'm waiting on you, Bricks.
Brain.
Huh?
Huh? What?
Scrap
next
battle.
scrap battle?
A challenger approaches.
Oh, a new challenger approaches.
Oh. Round 2.
That's right. It's happening.
A new
Captain America
old
versus
challenger
Conrad Ichigo,
approaches.
round 2.
Ooh.
You already know who's
Ooh. Will the Star-Spangled Man with a plan be able to take down Japan's savior?
Maybe.
Only one way to find out.
Find out.
Find out next week then.
So with that said, everybody, thank you for coming out. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you to Inktastic. Oh, I see hype. Yeah, if you want to see the results of what happened with round 1, go back a few episodes and you'll see it. I don't fully remember which episode it was. I want to say it was 103.
I almost think.
All I know is I remember it was me, you, and Bricks in it.
Yeah, I was in it, but I ended up having to dip out because I had to people in the morning.
Yeah. So
Can't
with all that said, that is the end of the episode. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it as always. And at some point, I will definitely start figuring out more topics where Dreamer gets to participate more because I feel so bad that she has to sit there every time and listen to us.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It
you
really
say
is.
it's okay, but I don't think it's okay. You're here. You should be able to participate just as much as us.
And of course, stay tuned for BC's latest Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime review. And then after that will be the tidal wave review.
Please tell me that you saw all the insanity that was the Scrap Battle Royale. Please tell me you saw it, because you are the reason why I did the story at this point.
And then, last but not least, next week's episode should feature a nice little contribution that I've made for the show. That's all I'm going to say, because BC would like it to be kept under wraps until it makes its debut.
Correct.
Spoilers.
There is a new thing being added to the show. Whenever it's actually made and ready, that's when it'll go up and everything will be all right. Seriously, Daniel, did you witness the story for the scrap battle? Please tell me you did, because if you didn't, I'm going to be so mad.
Please, Daniel. We did this for you.
Yeah, I went above and beyond, and I did my absolute best, even though my brain was fried, to do an absolutely awesome story of how you. Yeah, thank God.
Does he get a
all right.
participation trophy? I mean, should we give Daniel a participation trophy?
No.
He gets a gold star, just like animated Sentinel.
No, he doesn't, because Daniel does not have animated Sentinel's chin.
He gets
Animated Sentinel gets 2 gold stars because Rob agreed with me. Remember that?
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. I think we're done for the night, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody who came to participate on the show. I appreciate you guys, as always. And like JJ said, stay tuned for the SS86 Optimus review. And the next review is going to have this boy in it.
Oh, and one last thing. Most importantly, dance monkey.
Monkey Ranch.
I've been
Gotcha.
BC.
I'm a tired monkey.
I'm Dreamer Girl.
Woody?
Flaming bees.
I'm JJ Prime Reviews.
Oh, sorry. Brixton's Prime.
Or rather, he's zoned out.
No. Fantastic.
Wow.
No.
And
Ink.
we will catch
Ink.
Gorilla
No.
Belly Button.
Ink. No.
Hey, at least I was the one who said it this time.